What's poppin', everyone? Welcome in. We are playing War of Dots today, and I've got a great game. This is a three-player game on whatever this map is called, and I do actually really enjoy this map just because the rivers and the bridges I think add something good. So I am playing as purple in this one, and we got blue and red. So you're gonna see some incredible economy management from me, and then some great kind of just attacking strategy that allows us to really excel and just dominate our enemies. I mean, this game is never close. So let's see what we got going on. So the first thing that I do is I get all my cities covered with dots, of course. What that's going to do is that's going to increase your funds and lower your upkeep. So troops cost funds to stay alive. If you run out of funds, you'll see your troops die. And if you put a troop on a city, then you'll be able to reduce the upkeep cost for that troop to zero, and that city will become productive, so you'll start making more funds. Now, if you're not familiar, then you will. If you are familiar, then you'll know that 200 funds is for a light unit, one of these puppies, and 400 is for a heavy unit. So, what I'm going to try and do in this game is keep my funds above 400, typically around 800 or higher. That way, anytime that I need units to the front line, for example, this guy, if I need him at the front line, I can go ahead and move him and immediately get a unit production started, which keeps that city as a productive city. Because if I have an empty city, that's just costing me money and not making me money. So, obviously I have fog of war when I'm playing, so I don't quite know what's going on. And if I recall correctly, there's a pretty slow start to this game. It doesn't get kicked off to an amazing start, but I do know that I have a thin line down south. I have great protection on this peninsula just because of the one bridge. I mean, there's this one, but they really have to be destroying me to get around that way. So I think I have the best spawn here. I can easily, if I'm able to push through to this river, I can hold this because it's just 3 or 4 choke points that I have to worry about. Red, I think, has the worst spawn just because they have this full area of blue with the bulk of its production ready. Okay, so down south, blue starts thinning out his line. I'm not sure what his thought process here was. I'm assuming that he was going to eventually try and move kind of around me in this sort of direction. But I will say that does not materialize. So I did end up moving a troop off of this to get another one going. Keep my funds around 600-ish, so that's good. I can keep producing light units. Generally speaking, I keep my light unit production almost at the very top to only light units. I do sometimes produce heavies, and I do produce a good amount of heavies on this map just because it's mostly plains, so they can move. But the way I play, I like that maneuverability, especially for encirclements, because encirclements really are key in this game. So we're going to continue to produce units, moving down, keep my funds high. It's kind of an economic snowball here. As I keep my funds high, I can move units and keep the production moving, and I don't have to worry about it. So it's interesting up here. Red has kept his funds low, but he does have a cities covered, so he's probably okay. It's just not advisable. So if he really needs, like if blue pounds him hard and he needs this unit, he can pull it off, and then his funds might start dropping because he'll have nobody on that city. So that's why I would just advise keep your funds at least at 200. Now, blue is making the opposite mistake. Blue has all of his cities covered. His funds are flying up past 1,000. Why not just move this guy here? Move this guy here. Shore up your line. I don't know. It's not a good idea to just keep him covered the whole game without switching units on and off. So blue continues his trek in this direction, and I see an opening here. As you can see, his borders are getting smaller and smaller here, and this is a heavy unit, so this is very valuable. I go ahead and pull another light unit down just in case he goes for an assault. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what the point of this is. This is a lone heavy unit on forested terrain, so he moves slowly and he has no defense. So I go for an easy encirclement. I go here, and I know I'm leaving this gap here, but I'm pulling that light unit in from above, which is going to allow him to be stuck. So That heavy's there, and if you don't know, heavies are really cumbersome to move out once they're getting attacked. So I keep him there, and now that heavy's losing damage from my attack and from being encircled, so he has no supplies, and he's dying from attrition as well as my attack. So I'm able to get diabolical value out of this single light unit. As you can see, his casualties are just flying up. I mean, it's painful. So he tries to go for this long maneuver, but it's just that heavy is too slow on the forested land. I have a light unit in forest, which is not going to be as affected, and I'm able to keep moving things down to prevent this from reconnecting up. And just like that, bang, heavy's dead, 20,000 casualties to my 300. So that's absolutely insane. I'm not quite sure what he thought was going to happen there. And then after that's done, he has 1,800. So why are we not moving our troops off? This is an easy way to lose a game. You lost a unit and you made no units. I, on the other hand, am continuously moving units down. So I'm still behind in troops to red. I think that red has been spending his funds a lot more aggressively. So he's still below me. So that's why he's still got that little bit of a troop bump. But I'm catching up and I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I have enough funds to produce more troops anyway, so it's not a big deal. So now I see that this guy's all alone, so we go for the 2-on-1. 2-on-1s are going to be your biggest help. You want to continuously make sure that you're keeping people 2 or 3-on-1, and that's exactly what I do here. And then he's alone, so I try and get an encirclement with that guy, which we do. And we're able to push this guy back to keep him trapped. So that's going to be another unit that just gets obliterated instantly. So now he figures out he can produce a unit and moves it here. Already 2 units down with the third one to come. 2-on-1 with a heavy. And I'm able to easily just continue moving my line forward. 1 troop at a time. Which is keeping everyone with high health. I've taken out 2 units, a heavy and a light. Soon to be 3 units. And I've lost not even a single unit. Not even close. Did you see that red moved a unit off and it died? Because his funds are too low. Now he has nothing on the city. He's not making any money. So red's funds management's poor. He still has a troop advantage, but I'm also attacking and gaining ground, and he is not. So blue finally starts producing troops, but I just have a better line, a stronger line. I'm able to continuously get encirclements of units and have 2-on-1s or 3-on-1s here. Pushing this heavy back. I should be attacking with this heavy. I'm sure I realized that in one moment. See, this is a 1-on-1. We want to move this guy down and this guy down, but I don't. I end up doing the 3-on-1 with the heavy. That's smart, just to keep that heavy down. And now we pull my heavy to just obliterate that unit, which is going to be very impactful to take this bridge. So red tries to push me up here, 2 units by a bridge. You can only move 1 unit across the bridge at a time, so it's just not going to work. Another unit down. Blue is taking massive casualties, 54,000 casualties, unbelievable. I move another unit out and produce a heavy unit here, so that's going to be useful later on, because I know I'm going to have to push up this side, and it's very heavy. I'm going to have to go into red once I get up this way. So I'm just thinking, you know, mostly it's just plains. We'll get a heavy out. So blue tries to send a unit from the south to get me. I'm still working on this heavy unit with 3 light units. Could be doing 4, but I think I need to move my heavy up north, and that's what I do. So 4-on-1. That heavy stands no chance. I'm going to be able to save a lot of health on these guys if I do that. Now, a key to this game is to not get too afraid when they're in the yellow. Remember, these health bars don't move that fast, so as long as you're not surrounded, you'll have a chance to move this guy out, you know, let him rest, bring him back to a city, and it's not going to be a big deal. So, if you'll notice now, my funds are stagnant. I'm at 441. So what that means is that the amount of cities I have is the amount of cities that can support the amount of units I have. So I can't move any of these guys off of my cities, or I will start to lose funds, which will be terrible. If I lose too much, then I'll be stuck. I'll be stuck losing units and just taking casualties for no reason. So I have to take a city. Now, if you notice, as soon as I take that city, my funds skyrocket again, because that's an additional production. So I was able to just slowly work my way this way and push blue off, and then unfortunately for blue, red begins to just pound down on him. Now this is why it was important for blue to make his funds earlier, because to use his funds earlier, because now he has these units with no health on them that are just stuck. So he has 2,100 funds with no use for these units, except for like, why is he not moving this? He's getting pummeled on 2 fronts and he's not moving this. So I don't know. This is just a ridiculously stupid move. He is not a good player at all. What's this guy's name? I'm curious. Players, it's you know who. No, I don't know who. I don't know who. Anyway, I'm able to take his city, and then I'm able to shore up this whole line with both of these bridges defended. 2 units by a bridge should be fine. Because if I just react in time, and we'll see what happens here, I can just bring these 2 units down, and then it's a 2-on-1, and I win that every time. Especially if it's a defensive battle. So, evidently, blue is getting demolished. Now, this is where I make a mistake. I should be pushing hard. Obviously, I don't know that this bridge is uncovered. I'm about to find out with these 2 scouts. Realize they're just sitting here doing nothing. But I should be looking at blue's casualties and realizing he has nothing. He has no troops. He's losing it all. He has a lot of fun, sure, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. He's going to lose. So I should be pushing very heavy. And so finally, I get the balls, and I send my heavy across, noticing that there's just 1 light defending. So now if you see what blue's doing, this is just the desperation play. He's pulling dead units off of his capital to try and produce some more units to defend. So this is just a death wish. I'm able to bring units across the water. It's just a river, so you can pull them across. And these units are just pretty much insta-dead. I noticed that. I know what he's doing with this capital, so I know I can use 1 unit to take out 3. It's just nothing. We come in from the south with these, and it's just over for blue. So now the key is going to be what cities can I get and what cities can red get. So I am able to circle around to this capital to claim that. First thing you want to do once you get this capital, we're going to take it. This is the production menu. I need to add it into my production loop. So I do that there. So that means I can produce units on that capital. That's just by hitting 7 and clicking there. So I get 1 city. Now here's the problem. Red was able to take this city and this city. So now red is up 1 city on me, which is not good. Blue is dead for all intents and purposes. He's got 28,000 troops chilling out here. Both cut off from supply lines, full of attrition, and I just defend my bridge and defend this city. So now the problem is going to be defending this city, because this city is out on its own and it's at the front line, so he can easily kind of push his way in. Now I have way more troops than him right at this point, and my funds are higher. So what you'll see me kind of do over time is slowly get this offensive line into a setup that I like, so that I can push my advantage with 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, or heavies on lights, and just slowly whittle him down. So we take out that blue unit, and that is the end of blue. He is no longer with us. So now it's just me and red. Red, obviously, with the city advantage, so he will catch up in troops eventually if he plays his cards right. He's not. He's pulling dead units off instead of just moving the healthy unit forward. But that is helping him produce units. So that's what he's working on, just moving units forward. I don't understand this. Why are you moving dead units forward? I mean, they will heal eventually, but so he just uses all of his funds, produces all of the units that he can, and moves them off. Meanwhile, I'm sending healthy quality units, a heavy, all the way down and around to shore up my line and keep everything moving. Now see, that's when I pull a unit off my capital. When he's full, or in a desperate situation, maybe when he's half. If he's like maybe around this kind of area, then I'll pull him if I really need him. But for the most part, I shouldn't need to do that. Okay, so as you can see, just shoring up the line. He is sort of catching up to me in troops, but I feel a lot better about the troops that I have. I think they're a lot more impactful. Now here I think I get a bug, so I'm still making funds, producing units. This guy's healing up slowly, if you can see that. But this one's stuck, not healing. The city's in the production loop. He's on top of a city. He's just stuck like that. And that actually ends up biting me in the ass later. So just keep watching. You'll see some crazy things happen up here, because I'm way focused on this. So at this point, I'm tempted to move these down and extend my line across the bridge. But I think I decide not to, just on the basis of the fact that I could just defend here with 2 units rather than worrying about a massive push from multiple units in that direction. So we move this up. Let's see. This game's been going on for 16 minutes. It's a light little game. We're moving along. And we're slowly able to just widen out our line, prevent encirclements from the side. We want to keep our line going in a way that allows us to have the upper hand. So I have a ton of funds here. I should be moving this unit, but I'm not. I should be moving this. We'll wait on this. There we go. I finally moved that one. Get another unit produced up on the capital. This is why I like light units. This guy is going to get to this front line where I actually need him so much faster than the other guy is. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess this guy's thought process is if he makes all these units, then he can have multiple units healing at one time, because he knows he has the city advantage. Oh, look, it's happening to him too. This unit's not healing. That's interesting. I think that's a bug, because I don't think that should be happening. Anyway. Continually moving things up. I don't want this to attack, but I accidentally let it attack. We're just trying to get that line across the bridge. That way I can... I mean, if you notice, I could obviously see just the front of this. This side of the line is way weaker. One light, one heavy. So my intended motion would be up from this way and around to try and push, take that city, and then use that as a springboard to move forward. So that's why we're trying to move this line in this direction. He realizes that as well, that that's his weak spot, so he's going to go ahead and move some troops down. And at this point, I think I start to realize, like, I'm going to have to be the one to make a move, or he's just going to build more troops than me and overwhelm me. Because he is slowly catching up in troops, and I need to push my advantage while I have it. So here it comes. Down at the bottom where the line's weak, we push on a half-dead unit. I have a heavy that I can move in. I have multiple light units I can move in. So we're able to keep kind of 2-on-1s going. And he had already damaged units at the line. So now as he pulls forward, I always pull a guy up to match. So he's going to pull forward. I'm going to continuously pull guys forward to match. I guess I don't in this scenario. Probably have an intention for this heavy. So let's see what we kind of do. I think I end up moving this heavy up and around maybe. He's able to switch out. Yeah, so we're going to use that heavy to keep pressure on that. There's that. Heavy there, and then I'm moving this heavy north because I'm anticipating this heavy to get involved. So down here, we're just micromanaging better. I have a heavy on a light, 2-on-1 here. He has a dead unit there, and I'm just slowly moving people down so I can get ready to swap people out. That's going to be our biggest thing. Now, here's a problem. I got a 2-on-1 on me. Thankfully, this unit just dies, and this unit's way lower, so it's still not advantageous. Go ahead and swap that unit out for a fresh guy. Probably send him towards that city, and we're still making units up here. And I moved 2 units away from the defense of this area. So we're having a lot of success down here. As you can see, it's still this weak side. We're just going to continue to push forward and move him up. Push towards the city and try and take him from the side. It's way easier to push around the side than to push in from the middle. So we just continue just obliterating units one by one. This heavy has lost almost no health because he's only fighting weak light units with help from teammates. So it's almost just of no concern. My troop advantage is pushed way higher. I'm still making fresh, fully healed units to send to the line. He's still dealing with damage units, and I'm continuously pulling these damaged units out. I let that heavy kind of fend for itself against two because I know that those two are weak and my heavy's strong. And I just set up a queue here for units to heal up on that city while I bring reinforcements in and rotate the healed ones up to the front. So, as you can see just by looking at the health bars, I'm in just a much better scenario. He loses that unit, bang, loses that unit, and then bang, a third unit done. 3 troops gone in a matter of moments, which is allowing me to attack that unit, which is going to be another death. My heavy is still fully healthy, and now we're starting to get this. Starting to get this entrapment, which is exactly what we're looking for. Now I have a 3-on-1 on that heavy. Temporarily rotate that guy out, move that guy in. I was able to move one off the capital and up into battle, and that's boom, another unit gone. Now I'm worried about him overextending because he will end up getting cut off. So I pull him back, pull my heavy back, and just press where I have the advantage, which is still just down south. We're about to take out a heavy unit. Now here, can you see it? Here's the encirclement. It's way easier to see without Fog of War. Just saying that because I probably missed it in game, but just easy pushing around. All because we had just attacked from the bottom of the line where he was weak and moved our way up while he had weak troops and we had strong troops. So now we're pushing for the city. It's going to be light work. This heavy's killed like 6 units and lost half of his health, so that's incredible. And now we're able to move around and just continuously push him up. Just destroy and ruin his day. Now this is when things get hairy. So he, in desperation, knowing that he's losing all of his units there, sends a full-on assault on my city. Now remember that unit that was dead? Yeah. Well, he's fully dead now. So guess what? This city is taken by him, which induces attrition onto all these units, and they're also in a 5-on-1. Now while that's happening, I'm down here zoomed all the way in, focusing on this, and I don't realize. So then when I look up and see I'm losing a city there, I'm like, shoot. So now it's sort of a rush against time. I have a unit on each city, pretty much fully healed on all of these. Tons of fun, so I can still defend for the most part. And so now I just attack his back rank of cities and continue to be sure that I add them all to my production once I take them. I already added that one back there. So I realize I'm screwed. Try and retreat. I don't think I make it with that heavy, which is really unfortunate. And I realize that this is just totally screwed. So I have to send as many people back to prevent that city from being taken because that is a fresh unit. Thankfully, I have a unit from down there that was fully safe, and I'm able to send him up. But he's got 2 more units moving down to that unit that I just took off. So this is kind of the game of cat and mouse. You almost want a fresh unit near the city before you even move it to get that dead unit if you have gaps like I did. Thankfully, he doesn't push his advantage up here because he doesn't have one, and I'm able to send troops down, and I can even get on the water maybe and cross that river, scoot around. But we're going to end up losing 2 cities. So I gain 3 and lose 2. The problem is just this is kind of in the heart of my original region, and it's just not... It's not good. Thankfully, it's not enough. I mean, if he had been managing his funds better earlier, then this wouldn't be a problem. But now he has 1,000 funds, and all he can produce is half dead. You know, all he can do is pull from... We're starting to pull like the 14-year-olds from the cities to fight now. Like we're starting to get some weaklings coming up in, like the peasants. You know, we ran out of all the archers and the swordsmiths and whatnot. So at this point, I concede these 2 cities are done. We're just gonna fortify the other 2 cities that are close by. I know this is where his main offensive lies now. and we just send an absolutely diabolical oppressive order towards his last northern city, which is defended by Jack except for one final heavy unit. So once they all arrive, we just slowly pull our way around. Just one troop at a time, moving everybody around the back so that we can get damage on every single troop, which is what we're able to do up here. Now he's trying to move his way down, push towards this city. I don't think he has it, especially since now I'm producing from this side and I'm moving units back across, understanding the danger that this city is in. Still producing units up here for that city, and we just absolutely surround his capital and take it. Now this should have been the end, but credits to Pepe Blitz for pushing through and fighting. He sticks to it. I mean, he still has 3 cities and a decent amount of funds, so might as well give it your best shot. I am up almost 300,000 troops on him, but I have all my other cities defended. There's at least a heavy or a light unit on every city, and we're just moving into position, moving one unit at a time where I need him to go. Now here I almost blunder. He sends a Hail Mary to this city, which I had just pulled off. But if you notice, I never added it to my production. So a city never produces a unit. Thankfully, he's focused on, I don't even know what, something up here, and he leaves it off of the city, and it dies. So I'm able to just put a new healthy unit back on that city, and all is well. So that would have been another headache for me to deal with. Thankfully, he messes that up, and I'm able to kind of take advantage. So now that we have everything taken up here, we can just start moving everybody into position and slowly making our way towards the final. This was his final original city, and then to reclaim both of my cities there. We'll kind of see how this turns out. I mean, again, real credit to him for continuing to push through, even though he's at a staggering 300,000 casualties, and I'm at 100,000 casualties. So he tries it again, but this time I'm ready to go with at least a half-healed one, and he'll be dealing with attrition, so he just gives up. I don't even think he makes it back because of the... Oh, he does. Okay, so he does, and then he sends it back. I think that's a misinput. That is one thing that they could change or do some improvement on, is the ordering. It's just a little bit kind of laggy and weird. But anyway, he surrenders, realizing after I take this city up here that it's imminent death. I have too much troops, and there you go. That's how you win a War of Dots game. I mean, it really is just about keeping your be smart and calculated, and move slowly, and you won't have any problems. Just slowly taking them out through better economy management and just better unit micromanagement. Well, thank you so much for watching. That's going to do it for this video, and keep an eye on the channel. Like and subscribe, and more War of Dots content is coming. Peace.